Wolverine, Logan. Logan had lived through more than most people could imagine. Born as James Howlett in Canada during the late 1800s, he was a sickly child who suffered from allergies and health problems. His mutation did not show up until he witnessed his father being murdered. The trauma triggered his powers for the first time. Bone claws erupted from between his knuckles and his healing factor activated. After killing his father's murderer, James fled his old life with a companion named Rose. He eventually took the name Logan and spent years wandering, even living with a pack of wolves at one point. His healing factor slowed his aging dramatically. While Logan was not truly immortal, he aged much slower than normal humans. By the time he appeared in modern stories, Logan was well over 100 years old, possibly anywhere from 130 to 190 years old depending on different accounts. His healing factor did not make him invincible. Throughout the comics, Logan lost his healing factor multiple times due to viruses, special weapons, and other causes. Without his healing factor working properly, Logan aged at a normal rate and became vulnerable to injuries that would normally heal quickly. Logan served in multiple wars, including World War I and World War II. He worked with Captain America during World War II and spent time in Japan, where he married a woman named Itsu. In 1946, while Logan was away, the Winter Soldier murdered Itsu on orders from a mysterious villain named Romulus. Itsu was pregnant at the time. Romulus cut the baby from her womb and took him, leaving Itsu's body behind. The baby survived because he inherited Logan's healing factor. This child grew up to become Daken, Logan's biological son. Logan believed his son had died along with Itsu for many decades. He did not learn the truth until much later. The baby was left with a wealthy Japanese couple who named him Akihiro. However, the servants and townspeople called him Daken, which meant mongrel or bastard dog in Japanese. This was a cruel insult about his mixed heritage. As Akihiro grew up, other children teased and bullied him constantly. When he was 11 years old, his adoptive mother gave birth to a biological son. Akihiro killed the baby because he saw him as competition. When his adoptive parents discovered what he did, his adoptive father disowned him. His adoptive mother tried to kill him with a bayonet. This caused Akihiro's claws to emerge for the first time. He accidentally killed his adoptive mother. His adoptive father could not bring himself to harm Akihiro and killed himself instead. Romulus appeared and took Akihiro away, raising him to become a killer and filling his head with lies about Logan, abandoning him, and killing his mother. Daken possessed powers similar to Logan, including a healing factor, enhanced senses, and retractable claws. However, Daken had 3 claws total. 2 came from the tops of his hands between his knuckles like Logan's, but he also had 1 claw that came from each wrist. Daken also possessed a unique ability Logan did not have. He could control pheromones to manipulate people's emotions and desires. Romulus trained Daken to hate Logan and programmed him to believe Logan was responsible for all the trauma in his life. For decades, Daken sought revenge against his father. He joined the Dark Avengers using the Wolverine codename to spite Logan and worked with various villain organizations, including the Brotherhood of Mutants. Eventually, during the Krakoan Age, when mutants founded their own nation, Daken reconciled with Logan and joined heroic teams, including X-Factor and the Marauders. He dropped the insulting name Daken and took the honorific codename Fang instead, earning it through heroic actions. During the fall of Krakoa, Sabretooth and his clone army ambushed and murdered Akihiro, using pieces of his body to spell out Happy Birthday in the snow as a twisted message for Logan to find. Years after Itsu's death, Logan joined a secret program called Weapon X. The Weapon X program wanted to create super soldiers and experimented on Logan against his will. They bonded an indestructible metal called adamantium to his entire skeleton, coating his bones, including his bone claws, with the unbreakable substance. The adamantium made Logan nearly indestructible, but also poisoned his body constantly. His healing factor worked overtime just fighting the adamantium poisoning, which actually slowed down how fast he could heal from injuries. Scientists later discovered that without the adamantium, Logan's healing factor worked much faster and stronger. The Weapon X program also implanted false memories in Logan's mind, leaving him with decades of confused and fractured recollections. Logan eventually escaped from Weapon X and spent years trying to recover his true memories. Professor Charles Xavier recruited Logan to join the X-Men in 1975 during the events shown in Giant Size X-Men Issue 1. Xavier assembled an international team of mutants including Storm from Kenya, Colossus from Russia, Nightcrawler from Germany, and Logan from Canada. However, there was a secret behind Logan's recruitment that did not get revealed until decades later. Logan had been working for Department H, a secret Canadian government organization. Department H did not trust Xavier and his claims about helping mutants peacefully. They assigned Logan a mission: infiltrate Xavier's team and assassinate the powerful telepath. Logan's first comic book appearance fighting the Hulk was actually bait to get Xavier's attention during his search for new X-Men recruits. Despite this dark beginning, Logan genuinely bonded with his X-Men teammates and chose to stay with them instead of completing his mission. Xavier knew about the assassination plot all along because he read Logan's mind, but he recruited Logan anyway because Xavier needed a weapon for his team. Logan became one of the most important X-Men members. He formed close friendships with teammates like Nightcrawler, Storm, and Colossus. He became a mentor figure to younger mutants, including Kitty Pryde and Jubilee. Logan developed romantic feelings for Jean Grey, which created a complicated rivalry with team leader Cyclops that lasted for decades. Logan also fell deeply in love with Mariko Yashida, a Japanese woman whose father led the criminal clan Yashida organization. Logan fought for Mariko's honor and killed her father Shingen. They became engaged to be married, but Mariko broke off the engagement while under the influence of the villain Mastermind. Years later, Mariko restored her family's honor by breaking their criminal connections. However, before Logan and Mariko could finally marry, she was poisoned by a villain named Viper. Mariko asked Logan to kill her mercifully rather than die slowly from the poison. Logan granted her request, which devastated him emotionally and made him more disciplined, but also more distant. Scientists at a facility called the Facility attempted to recreate the Weapon X experiment by cloning Logan. They had a damaged sample of his DNA. After 22 failed attempts, scientist Sarah Kinney decided to create a female clone by replacing the damaged Y chromosome with a duplicate X chromosome. Her superiors punished Sarah by forcing her to be the surrogate mother who gave birth to the clone. The facility designated this clone as X-23 and raised her as a weapon. Sarah secretly bonded with the child and named her Laura. The facility trained Laura to be an assassin, covered her claws with adamantium, and conditioned her with a special trigger scent that sent her into an uncontrollable killing rage. When Sarah helped Laura destroy the facility, her vengeful colleague, Dr. Xander Rice, had already exposed Sarah to the trigger scent. Laura killed her own mother while in her triggered state. As Sarah died, she told Laura her name and urged her to find Logan. Laura eventually found Logan and joined the X-Men. Over time, Logan and Laura formed a genuine father-daughter bond. They discovered that Laura was not just Logan's clone, she was actually his biological daughter because Sarah Kinney used her own DNA to complete Laura's genetic code. After Logan apparently died in 2014 during the Death of Wolverine storyline, Laura took over the Wolverine name and costume to honor him. During this time, Laura discovered the facility had created multiple clones of her. She rescued the youngest clone and named her Gabby, who became Laura's adoptive sister. When Logan returned from death in 2018, both he and Laura used the Wolverine name simultaneously. Logan had been resurrected by the villain Persephone using advanced technology. Later, during the Krakoan Age, mutants developed resurrection protocols that allowed them to bring back any dead mutant using a combination of genetic samples, psychic backups of memories, and the powers of 5 specific mutants called the Five. This meant that both Logan and his various family members could be resurrected if they died. One famous alternate future story called Old Man Logan showed what might happen 50 years in the future. In this timeline, the supervillains united and murdered almost all the superheroes in one coordinated attack. The villain Mysterio used his illusion powers to trick Logan into believing he was fighting villains attacking the X-Men's school. In reality, Logan brutally slaughtered all his X-Men teammates and students while thinking he was saving them. When the illusion broke and Logan realized what he actually did, the trauma destroyed him. He attempted suicide, but his healing factor saved him. Logan swore he would never use his claws again and lived peacefully with his new wife Maureen and their children Scotty and Jade in territory controlled by the Hulk's inbred descendants called the Hulk Gang. When Logan could not pay rent, his friend Hawkeye recruited him to make a dangerous cross-country journey to deliver a mysterious package. This journey forced Logan to become a hero again and eventually made him pop his claws for the first time in 50 years to protect the innocent and take revenge on those who hurt his family. Throughout all these stories, Logan remained the same gruff, short-tempered fighter, struggling to control his animal instincts while trying to be a good man. His healing factor, adamantium skeleton, enhanced senses, and retractable claws made him one of Marvel's most dangerous heroes. But it was Logan's heart, his loyalty to his friends, his protection of the innocent, and his never-ending fight against his own violent nature that made him truly heroic. Whether leading the X-Men, mentoring young mutants, or standing alone against impossible odds, Logan proved again and again why he was the best at what he did, even if what he did best was not very nice. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this breakdown,